Oh, that's dead.
Why?
So you don't get it knocked
I'm
off.
fine.
I got ripped on.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
I'm not going to take the roll that one.
All right, yeah, look at the new and see if you're he's going to take our picture. So, give him a
Wow.
I'm used to it by now.
You're right on my glasses.
Hmm?
I said it dripped right on my glasses.
Did it?
Well, there's a little drip on you.
Okay.
Yep, I'm getting dripped on.
Hmm?
I'm getting dripped on.
Shoot, duck. Yeah, you're gonna have to duck.
Yeah, you got good person.
Oh yeah, you got duck. Everybody has to. Shoot. Duck, duck, duck. That's it. Duck, duck, goose. Oh shoot. This is lower than the first one.
This is when it's good to be short.
I can stand up, kind of. What is that?
You know there had to be.
Oh, it's dark. Oh, look. Right there.
What do you mean I won't start?
All right, again, welcome to Fantastic Cave. In case you're not aware of it, y'all are on the only ride-through cave in North America. In fact, there's only 4 worldwide. There's one in France, there's one in Slovenia, one in Barbados, and this one. So that does make this a rather unique experience. Now, one of the reasons why I stopped here was back in the 1930s, during the time of the Depression. There were no jobs and nobody had any money. So the owner of the cave at that time had to figure out a way to pay his bills. And he had this idea that he would grow a crop down here in the cave, harvest it, take it to Springfield, sell it, put some money in his pocket. Well, what do you think he could grow down here in a cave?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. I knew I had a smart crowd. The mushrooms, that's exactly what he grew. They say he grew those because he was just such a fun guy.
Nice.
Anyway, this is the last of several mushroom beds we had. We no longer grow them, but we did preserve one of the last of several. And actually, I thought that was a very good idea. It was a very good use of his resources. And, you know, that got him through those hard times. All right, we're going to switch gears here. If you look up at the ceiling, you see all these little tiny things hanging down. All these little tiny things hanging down are what we call soda straws. And we call them that because they grow in a hollow tube-like shape, just like a drinking straw. And that's how most of the formations in the cave start out. And that happens when the water on the surface finds its way down to the bedrock in the limestone, and it works its way down into the cave. As that water travels, it picks up minerals along the way. And the primary mineral it picks up is calcite. So the water carries the calcite into the cave. The water eventually evaporates, leaving the calcite behind. And that is how our formations begin. And we're going to go up ahead, and we're going to see what they look like when they've grown up some. But here's a fun cave fact. Most caves are the mean or the average temperature of the ground above them. And this cave is 60 degrees, and it's 60 degrees all year long. It feels warm in the winter and cool in the summer. That's a fun little cave fact.
Yeah, that was 52. Ooh.
The popcorn.
Grab my break.
Is that right?
That's where that damn love was. I got her good now.
Yep.
And they will grow somewhere between 6 and 10 inches long. And then at that point, that calcite will begin to clog up that hollow center area, and the water will start to drip down around it, forming what we call stalactites. That's what all these are, hanging tight to the ceiling. Now, this particular stalactite that my light's on, it's kind of special because the formation it makes, it has its own name. And this is what we call cave curtains or cave drapery. And it makes this type of formation like this right here because the ceiling's kind of slanted, so it causes the water to drip down at an angle, leaving behind what looks like curtains or drapes. And if you watch, as that water continues to drip, it'll drip down here to the ground. That calcite starts growing upward, forming what we call a stalagmite. It might grow to reach the ceiling. I see some youngins on here. That is a good way to remember that. I remember when I was 7 years old, my coach took me to Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. And I always remembered the tour guide saying, a stalactite holds tight to the ceiling, a stalagmite might grow to reach the ceiling. And that stuck with me all these many years. So it's a good way to remember it. Who knew I'd be saying it myself, to be honest with you. So yeah, I bet you remember it, won't you? I bet you will. Now these two formations are lined up where they could possibly grow together someday and form what we call a column or a pillar. That's going to take a little while. They've estimated that the average rate of growth of the formations in our cave is approximately 1 cubic inch per 100 years. Wow. So that's going to take a day or two. So we're not going to sit around and watch that for a day. Now that formation, I'd like to point out, is if you look along the cave wall, it looks like there's something flowing down the sides. This is actually a formation that we call flowstone. And this happens when the water seeps in through the layers of the limestone and drips down. The different colors are due to different minerals. Like this one my light's on right now, it's got a lot of iron in it, so it's got that red color going on. Calcite is pure white, but it's the minerals that the water carries in that gives the cave a whole array of colors. We're going to head on into the east side. As we go forward, in case you're wondering what we're driving on right now, is an old ancient riverbed. Where the road goes, the water flows. Let's go down that direction.
This is neat.
Yeah.
We get more information on this one than we did in that other cave we went to.
Other Ray.
Yeah.
That's because it was a walkthrough. He went through it. You went through on your own there.
Is this a mineral water?
Columns, pillars, flowstones, your basic cave formations. That brings us to this right here. This is not a cave formation. This really should not be in our cave, but yet here it is. What this is a well casing or a well pipe. Now, how did a well casing get in our cave? In 1941, there was a farmer that lived up top and he wanted water. So he needed to dig himself a well. He knew the cave was here. He did not want to cause any damage, so he walked around up top and he measured and